Welcome back. If this is your first time, I am Kyle and I am one half of the Wandering Shores. My wife and I, Michelle, have been traveling in the United States for about 3 years, and we boondock almost exclusively, and we're bringing to you yet another wonderful free camping spot, or almost free. You'll see here in a minute why I say that. We are at Vulture Peak Dispersed Camping just outside Wickenburg, Arizona. So I am standing here on Vulture Mine Road, and as you go that direction, which is north, you run into Wickenburg. If you're coming from the south, way down there is Interstate 10 that runs across Phoenix. So I am here at the corner of Vulture Mine and Vulture Peak. So as you turn into this boondocking area, I'll show you what you'll see. You're going to see a pretty nice level sandy gravel entryway, plenty wide enough for more than 1 or 2 rigs at the same time. One thing I'll point out over here on the right hand side, and we'll talk about this later, there is a permit required here. This is Arizona State Trust land, so we'll get to that here in a minute. But as you pull in, you're going to see that there is really one main boondocking area, and that's going to be off to my left. Do you enjoy free camping and boondocking across the United States? Well, we've got a lot more for you. If you haven't already, checked out thewanderingshores.com, and we have an interactive Google map there where you can see all of the spots we've done campsite reviews of, as well as things to do in the area. So check us out. So now that we're up here to kind of where the begin of the dispersed camping is, if you take this road and continue on, there are some dispersed camping areas down that way. That road is pretty rough initially, but if you just take your time, you can probably make it down there. I'm actually going to take you inside and show you that on Google Earth or Google Maps, so I can show you overhead view. But instead, I'm going to take you over here to the main boondocking area. Now, one thing I want to recommend is you see the back side of this sign. You're going to want to not continue there where that fifth wheel is, because if you're trying to get into the boondocking area, there is a pretty steep little bump there. You're going to want to shift over here towards this white cross, and you're going to want to come in through this area right here. So you're going to want to go right of this bush / tree. Okay, we just came in right through that path, and this is going to open up into several of the dispersed camping sites. You can see me here in this white travel trailer. We came up and around here. There is a campsite right up here. There's really no designated campsites. People just have parked wherever they want. But I would highly suggest that maybe you just kind of get out and scout once you get here and figure out which is the best way for you. I will say, when we got here, there was a ton of broken glass and unfortunately a ton of trash. Cigarette boxes and straws and just trash, old diapers. I mean, it's really unfortunate that people are so disgusting and leave all this stuff on this public land. Along with, as you can see here, somebody left a tire. So yeah, there's some boondocking spots up here where my friends Chris and I have decided to park. They're right over there on that, in that fifth wheel, or I'm sorry, in that Class A. There is a campsite right there along the edge, and then the main area, as you can see over here, is just intermixed out here in this large wide open area. You can see the buses and the vans and the travel trailers and the buses and everything just kind of spread out as you will over in that area. That's a fairly large area over there, and there are plenty of spots. I'm going to actually talk about that in the overview as well. One thing I want to point out significant is that tower right there. So that is a Verizon cell tower, and it is probably one of the main reasons this place gets so busy throughout the week, especially on the weekends. It has really strong Verizon signal. Obviously, with an area like this, if you've got Starlink, you're not going to have any problems. Chris and I both have Starlink, so we're getting a clear view of the northern sky and no obstructions from trees. Everything's pretty low out here. The biggest tree out here is probably about 10 or 11 feet at most. But there is more boondocking spots over here. There's some right here. So there is tons of options here. Good cell phone service if you've got Verizon. I've got T-Mobile. I'm getting about 3 bars, but I'm not able to use any data. So it's not real strong for data use on T-Mobile. But I'm going to take you inside now. I'm going to show you some of the overview of the boondocking area using Google Maps. And then I'm going to talk about some of the services that are available in the area, as well as take you back down that road and show you a little bit of the other spots that are back more remote from this area. So before I take you inside and show you the Google overlay, I want to talk about the Arizona State Land Trust and kind of the rules here. So there is a permit required. This is a 14-day stay limit. The permit can be accessible through the State Land Trust website. There's a link to it in the comment section, or in the video description below if you have any questions. The cost for the permit. There's 2 versions. There's a family and then there's a single individual. The family permit, after the service fee of $1, ends up being $21 for a year from the date you purchase it, and for a single it's $15 for the year from the date that you purchase it. I will say that according to the website, there is a 14-day stay limit throughout an entire year. So per policy on the website, it says you can't stay in any of the state land trusts for more than a total of 14 days in a year. So just be advised that that is the rule. I don't know that anybody is necessarily checking on that if you go to one of the other state land trusts that are throughout the state, but that is the policy that is listed on the website. So let me take you inside now. We are now inside. I'm going to take you over here to Google Maps, and I'm going to show you kind of the area and some of the other resources available here at Vulture Peak. So just for a point of reference, there's Phoenix. Wickenburg is up here to the northwest. We're going to zoom in. The actual town of Wickenburg is here, but Vulture Peak is going to be out here on the southwest side of town. So let me switch over to the maps. So as I showed you on the way in, this is the turnoff of South Vulture Mine Road. We're going to be coming in here. Remember, you're going to veer over here to this area around that little bump there so that you can get over into this boondocking area. The heart that you see here is actually approximately where we are camped. So, but as you can see, if you continue out here, there is a large boondocking area available. And even if you go a little bit further out, there's some more over here. And you will see, let me back this up a little bit, you will see there is some of this that is accessible from the road. Let me see, there it is right there, that road there. So they're almost, it's kind of hard to interconnect these to go down there. So if you're interested in camping out in this area, you're just going to enter right off of Vulture Mine Road over there. Now, let me take you further on down the road where I showed you. So this area right here is kind of bumpy and rocky, but once you get past that, it's not too bad. This goes on for what I like to say forever. You can see there is some camping area right here. There is another big area right here, a very large area right over here. Right approximately right there, there's actually a cow gate that you have to go through and across, and you can either veer to the right as you're coming in or continue on straight. If you veer to the right, there is another boondocking area over here. So there is a lot of resources available as far as boondocking spots out here in the Vulture Peak area. Now, as far as services in town, let me take you in and show you a few things. Right in town, you got really the primary grocery store, which is going to be Safeway. This square right here is for the West Plaza. I'm sorry, this yellow star is for the West Plaza Green Laundry, a really nice uh, laundromat if you're looking for something when you're in town. As far as getting a spot to dump, there's really nothing that is free. Over here at the Chevron, there is a dump station. At the time of filming, it is $15 to dump, and that also includes water. They also sell water. I think it's like maybe 15 cents a gallon. It's real reasonable. So that is an option if you're looking for some water and a dump here in town. There is also a number of
campgrounds that if you reach out to them there in Wickenburg, I'm sure they would let you dump for a fee. But I just wanted to kind of show you the Vulture Peak Dispersed Camping area. I hope this information is helpful, and we'll see you soon.
If you haven't already, checked out thewanderingsshores.com, and we have an interactive Google map there where you can see all of the spots we've done campsite reviews of, as well as things to do in the area. So check us out.